Okay, hello. Today I want to talk about something that happened online, which is the fact that Naira Marley said he was going to go on a protest. Of course, not that he just came up with it, but because of the agitation of the people, that the people were angry, the way the SARS have been treating the youth of recent, the killings, the broad daylight robbery, because if they catch you, they can just take you to an ATM and ask you to withdraw money and give to them. They harass you, they kill people, they beat people up and things like that. So everybody's like, "Wow, this is getting out of hand." And the thing about it is that for me though, because of what is happening, it will now make it difficult for us to know who is who. Maybe if the SARS guys are actually the ones doing all these things, because maybe they've done a little bit of it, but also other criminal elements might have taken advantage of that and be doing the same thing that those guys were doing, but we don't really know that they are the criminals because the SARS themselves don't really wear their uniforms. They're always dressed in mufti. They just use any car they want, usually the small bus or the Sienna bus, any kind of small vehicles without even using official vehicles. So it makes it difficult for us to know if they're actually the real guys or these are just other criminals trying to take advantage of a system that is broken. So, but recently, everybody, started trending online after, a series of other things also that have been happening of recent, which, of course, people have already agitated for this a long time ago. It has happened maybe like 2 or 3 times where people, where it trended on Twitter and they were like, end SARS, end SARS, end SARS. And other celebrities tweeted, talked about it, talked to the police, they said they are going to ban it and things like that. And later everything still continued. In fact, it even got worse. So this time around, it started trending again, and everyone was complaining about it, like the whole day trending. People were pulling up pictures, pulling out videos, pulling out different things that happen in different places that these guys have done, which is actually not really something that is beautiful, it's something that is very, very pathetic, something that is not something you expect from officers of the law, people that are supposed to protect the people that are supposed to be law enforcers, but rather they are now the ones acting as if they don't really care about the law. Of course, we appreciate the fact that their job is to help, in terms of corruption, like those that are doing online fraud, criminal element. It is very important that they do that job, and it is very, very laudable, and we appreciate that they do that job. But it becomes an issue when they start doing something that doesn't look like it is related to the job. For example, stopping someone on the road that is just going on his own with no sign, no particular suspicion effect. They just call the person, pick up his phone and start looking at his phone, checking his phone, and then some people, they don't even check your phone, they just pick you up. They can just stop an Uber and ask you to get out of the car and join their own car. They pull into their own car, take you out. And then they harass you, they ask you to pay some money. And if they look at your phone and they see maybe a picture that maybe like you're a black guy, of course, we are Nigerians back here, and they look at the phone and they see any white girl there, they'll be like, oh, yeah, maybe you are using this to scam other guys to claim that that is who you are, which might not really be. I mean, these days of social media, we have pictures everywhere, we have videos everywhere, WhatsApp group, Telegram group everywhere, we have it on Instagram. So somehow, somewhere, you always have pictures on your phone, unless you consciously delete them all the time. So when they see any of those pictures, it becomes a problem. When they check through your chat and they see anything that looks like a business transaction, for example, they see something like client, it becomes a problem. They'll be like, okay, who is the client? The client has to be someone that you are trying to scam, which a lot of times it is not. Client means client, which is a business, someone you do business with. But because of the way the bad guys have used it actually, so it has become something that is, in quote, a very bad thing to see on someone's phone. So this has been going on for a long time now. People have been suffering. In fact, sometimes we get scared of going out. Man, you just feel like you don't have to go out, you just stay indoors because you don't know where you're going to meet these guys. They can stop you at any junction. They can stop, even while you're on the way, they can just stop the car and just begin to search. And if they don't see anything, the worst thing is that if they don't see anything, they can still molest you. They can still ask you to pay money. Assuming it's okay, maybe they have to say something to be able to say, okay, you are at guilt or you are at fault and all of that. But even though they don't see, you're still in trouble. They see you are in trouble. And if you try to protest or they'll beat you up. They even shoot. I mean, we've seen cases of people they shot, like a woman that was, different guys. I can't really start naming them that they've shot, and those people even died. It's a very sad, it's a very, very sad scene, all those things that we've seen. So now something else that is very important that people start worrying now, start being worried about is the fact that a lot of the guys they stop, especially those that are driving, actual people who that have nice cars. If they see any young guy with a nice car, it's a problem because it's an automatic assumption that that guy is a fraud. Once you have a nice car, I mean, how could you have afforded that? How could you be able to afford a nice car? They don't want to know how legitimate your job is. They just assume that you're a fraudster, which is not true. I mean, a lot of guys have legitimate jobs. Some people are working in good offices with good pay, so they're able to afford car even at a young age. And of course, some people are into other businesses. Of course, this year of entrepreneurship, people are doing different kind of businesses, and people are making money. People are influencers online. People are making comedy skits online, and they are getting brand endorsement. Of course, we have cases whereby some these comedians that post skits on Instagram, I've said they harass them. In fact, they beat them up. Which, I mean, you would think that guy doesn't have a job because he doesn't have an office, but he makes skit online and he gets endorsement, get paid, and he posts on Instagram, posts on Facebook, and especially Instagram though. So the job these days are now actually direct. It doesn't mean that there are no fraudsters. There are a lot of fraudsters out there, and that is why I said it's important that they continue to do their job. But it is also important to understand that there are different kind of jobs now, so they should make more effort in trying to investigate to know if the person they caught or the person they're harassing actually has a legal job, has a job that is actually legal and not an illegal job. So these days, if you have a beautiful car, you're in trouble. If you're a young guy, you're in trouble. So if you're young and you have a clean car, a nice car, you're in trouble. So a lot of times people don't go out with their car. They go out with Uber, but they're also harassing Ubers. When they see Uber, they stop Uber, take you out, put in their car, and take you out. So people even sometimes don't go out with Uber. They go out on commercial buses. So, and it might get to a time whereby they might start harassing the commercial buses and people stop taking that and people start trekking. I mean, you don't know what you're going to do again for these guys because anywhere you take, as long as you are young and you look clean, you look like you are fresh, you look like you are fresh, you have money, you're in trouble. They're going to harass you and they're going to take money from you, which is not supposed to be. People started talking about going on protest, and Naira Marley got involved. Of course, what he said instantly at the initial stage was that, like, people in Nigeria are always, taking up the cases on Twitter, and people started criticizing him that even when he was locked up, it was the same Twitter that helped him. But he later clarified the fact that he said something like that because we actually need to take action and not just be online, be on Twitter and be tweeting it from your bedroom. We should actually go out there and take action. So they start talking about, going on a peaceful protest. And eventually he said, okay, who is going to lead? Okay, maybe he should lead. And, eventually offer to lead and be like, okay, let's go out on Tuesday and then let's protest. But it's going to be a peaceful protest. Very, very peaceful protest. Nothing harmful, nothing criminal, no. Just peaceful protest. And suddenly, the people in authority took notice because they know him and they know his fans, the Malian gang, and how easily this thing can get out of hand. So, as the whole thing was going on, the Honorable Minister of Sport tweeted out to Naira Marley, urging him not to proceed with the protest because he knows that things can easily get out of hand. And in his tweet, he said, "I urge you and other youth not to embark upon any protest. Your grievances are being addressed at the highest level of government. As the minister in charge of youth, I know this is an issue that must be tackled. Government is doing just that." Of which Naira Marley also responded, and amongst what he says is that, what is the assurance this time? We need assurance. There have been issues of this NSAS protest on Twitter, trending on Twitter, people talking about it, and after all the things that they will say they're going to do, things are still going to continue the way they have been. In fact, even get worse. So he's asking, what is the assurance this time? We need an assurance. The police inspector reached out to him through another tweet, which is the police force. He said, today, Tuesday, 6th October 2020, by 11 a.m., the first PRO DCP, Frank Mba, will be having a live Instagram chat with Naira Marley to answer questions and discuss the concerns of young Nigerians on the issues of SARS operation and other burning issues. Please stay tuned. Which was actually something that was actually very commendable to see that happen, And then he, of course, responded by saying, Malian nations, feel free to join the live and ask any question you want. And, of course, it eventually led to him also cancelling the protest. Like, okay, since they're already working on it, so there's no need to continue the protest. But also try to clarify on the protest, saying that The protest was a cry for change. Nigerian youth and citizens should feel safe. The government have promised to make changes. Whilst we anticipate their actions, it is important we stick together to sort the issues on ground. End SARS brutality, end police brutality. Later, in our Twitter, the 10 things that the police have actually come up with, the guidelines, the rules that they've come up with to be able to check the members of the SARS and other units in the police force that actually are out there trying to enforce law and order. And among the 10 things that we have, number one is the IGP, said 10 things you need to know on the position of the IGP on FSARS orders. Number one, the IGP has banned FSARS, STS, and IRT from routine patrol on the streets. Number two, the IGP has also banned FSARS, which is federal SARS, of course, FSARS, STS, and IRT from conventional low-risk duties, stop and search, checkpoints, monitoring of roadblocks, traffic checks, etc., with immediate effect. Number three, the IGP has warned that no police officer, including personnel of FSARS, STS, and IRT, is authorized to embark on patrol or tactical assignments in Mufti. Number four, the IGP has directed that the FSARS, STS, and IRT personnel must appear in their police uniforms or approved tactical gear while on official assignment. Number five, the IGP has banned the indiscriminate and unauthorized search of mobile phones, laptops, and other smart devices. Number six, the IGP has directed that personnel of FSARS and other tactical squads concentrate and respond only to cases of armed robbery, kidnapping, and other violent crimes when the need arises. Number seven, the IGP has ordered the S Squad and the monitoring unit to monitor and arrest erring personnel of FSARS and other policemen on the road. Number 8. The IGP warned that henceforth, the CP in charge of FSARS, CPs in charge of State Command and FCT, as well as their supervisory zonal AIGs, will be held liable for misconduct of personnel of FSARS and others within their jurisdiction. Number 9. In line with paragraph 8 above, the IGP has charged the affected AIGs and CPs to ensure an effective supervision of personnel of FSARS and others within their jurisdiction. Number 10. The IGP has appealed to citizens not to allow misconduct by a few personnel of the force to negatively impact on their confidence and trust in the police. I think it's very commendable actually. But we just hope, the hope is that they stick to what they've said. The hope is that they make sure that what they've said this time around is going to work. So we hope that these current rules are actually going to be, implemented to the latter, and then so that we can see safer environment. We are not saying that people should stop or the SARS should be banned, like people say, end SARS. It's not that they should be ended or they should be banned, but rather they should be controlled to do what they are supposed to do and not to get out of line and start doing something else that they are not supposed to do. I think the important thing is that influence actually is very important sometimes, and sometimes people that have influence and use it in the right cause is actually very commendable. Someone like Davido tweeted out to Naira Marley and be like, respect, which is something that people say, this is something that you will actually want to say, respect my guy, because what you did was actually commendable to have come out, put yourself on the line, because he will say something like, okay, this time that I'm going, because I've had other issues with the law enforcement, this time I might be thrown to Kirikiri, but no problem, he was going to do it anyway. So people like respect, you used your influence and it got us some good results, which is something like that. And we hope that other guys that have good influence, are able to also come up, stand up for others that have been oppressed, stand up for people when people actually need them, and not just to capitalize on people with their influence to make money off it, as brand ambassadors and selling their music, but rather be able to use the influence to support and to speak out for people, speak out for the voice, be the voice of the voiceless and the face of the faceless, and make sure that the society is actually, in a good shape as it is supposed to be. So this is what I have to say on this, and let me know what you think. Thank you. See you in the next one.